Hi guys. It's been a long day, hasn't it? Long few hours of speaking. So, how many of you can wake up early in the morning without an alarm clock? Quite a few of you. That's good, that's good, that's a good habit. Now this may sound like a me now task, and you might think, what does this have to do with helping me lead a successful life? But think about it this way. If you can wake up every morning at 6 a.m., then you get a 1 hour head start from somebody who wakes up at 7 a.m. Put this into perspective, you have an extra 365 hours to use in a year than those who don't wake up at that time because of one good habit. How many of you think you have at least one good daily habit? Okay, a few self-disciplined people in the room. Now notice how I use the keyword good habit. Habits, according to Charles Duhigg, author of the bestseller The Power of Habit, are the decisions that we deliberately make at some point, stop thinking about, but continue doing nevertheless, and often every day. And here's the interesting thing about habits. The more positive habits you build, the easier it will get. Charles Duhigg summarized that once you build a good habit, it will trickle into other areas in your life. So this is also why, if you exercise often, you're more likely to eat healthier. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a psychologist. In fact, I am a millennial entrepreneur. I own a creative talents and production agency based here in Beijing and in London. We represent creative talents such as fashion photographers, Studio Gray and Black Chin, who are in the audience. And we also create commercials, experiences, and events for brands. Now, entrepreneurs have to face a lot of challenges on a day-to-day basis. So it's very important for them to have a very positive mindset. Now, it's important to have a positive mindset because you need to know how to overcome the barriers that are placed in front of you. And so I have built the habit of giving myself one dose of personal inspiration every day by reading one biography of a successful individual who I admire. And from my reading, I realized a pattern that all the successful individuals whose books I have read have at least one good daily habit. Let me break it down for you. Elon Musk, oh, you like him? CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, organizes his entire day into 5-minute blocks so he can squeeze the most time to thinking logistically. Arianna Huffington, co-founder of Huffington Post, practices early morning yoga and meditation every day to help her feel balanced throughout the day. Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, wears the same t-shirt, pants, and hoodie every day to minimize the amount of day-to-day decisions he needs to make in order to make room for the more important ideas. How he does it, I don't know. Richard Branson, founder of the Virgin Group, wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning to swim, kite, surf, or play tennis to get an extra 4 hours of productivity from regular exercise. Warren Buffett, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, spends 80% of his day reading, and in fact, he read around 600 to 1,000 pages a day at the start of his investment career. Phil Knight, founder of Nike, he would run a few miles every day to give himself time to step back, reflect, before moving ahead. And last but not least, Steve Jobs, co-founder and former chairman of Apple, would wake up every morning, make his bed, shower, then look himself in the mirror and ask, if today was the last day of my life, would I be happy with what I'm about to do? If the answer was no too many days in a row, then he knew that something needed to change. I didn't steal this from you, Dr. Sajid, I promise. We all like Google. Now, establishing habits not only creates other good habits, but it most importantly teaches self-accountability and perseverance. To start a habit, you have to actively initiate it and then persevere to maintain it. And this is the same mentality that one needs to overcome your challenges in order to reach a goal. Now, for example, a habit that I have built is to try to be never late to meetings. And this definitely doesn't always happen. My business partners are in the room and they know this isn't true. But my attempt at solidifying this habit makes sure that, even on the days when I'm sad because my company's lost a bid to a major project maybe, I still make it to my meetings on time, or try to make it to my meetings on time. This not only leaves a good impression on the other person, who, by the way, might well be a future client, but it also makes sure that I am constantly moving forward no matter what challenges I have or had faced. Now there's a Chinese idiom that puts this across very simply. 不扫门前雪，何以扫天下? Which means if you can't even sweep the snow away from your doorstep, how do you pave a road for yourself in the world? Similarly, let's be honest, none of us want to wake up early in the morning because our beds are so warm and comfortable, while the real world is not so much. But if you can wake up early in the morning, I promise you, you are more likely to overcome your barriers and succeed than those who do not, even if it's by simply getting a head start to your day. There is a reason why some of the most successful people in the world all have good daily habits. It's because the power of a good habit, no matter how small, can go a very long way. Just like Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Thank you very much.